Preza. And Preza, this will be her icebreaker speech. And Preza will
I'm gonna pass these and I'll give you a little bit of direction as to.
Ooh, it's interactive.
Thank you.
Nice. We get to be part
And I'll
of it.
let you know what to do with it in a little bit. And some more are coming this way. Thank you so much. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests and returning guests. I will go ahead and start a little bit with myself, and I'm going to go ahead and ask you a question. Do you know who you are? Do all of you know who you are?
I do.
Yes.
I do.
Well, for me, it took me almost 40 years to figure out who I was. And I'm still discovering myself. So, a little bit of history. I was born in Mexico. I am the 5th child out of 7. And back in the 80s, my father, when he came over to the United States, he came to work, and he was going back and forth in the 80s. So at that time, we were already 7 children with my mom. She was a homemaker. She stayed, and my dad would randomly send money back to Mexico so that my mom can feed us. We did have a farm. We were growing crops, and that's how my mom got, I guess, money in order for us to get fed. So my dad lived over here with one aunt and an uncle. One of my aunts, she hid the letters that my mom used to send to my dad, so my dad wouldn't receive those letters.
Whoa.
And at that time, my dad was thinking that my mom wasn't writing to him. So that's why my dad was not sending money back to Mexico. Either way, my mom got around by growing the crops, by selling, and that's how we got out of, let's say, out of that stage where we didn't have a lot to eat. And then at some point, my dad told my mom that he wasn't going to go back to Mexico. At that time, my mom had to make a decision whether to stay or to come and live over here with my dad. We didn't have any kind of documents at that time, so my mom started to investigate with the U.S. consulate at that time. She figured out that she needed some documents, and they asked for, let's say, bank statements. They asked for proof that she had a farm and that she was living in Mexico, because at that time they would require specific documentation so that you would come over here to visit as just a tourist, and then you would have to go back. My mom did get all those documents, like birth certificates and whatever they needed. She supplied the bank statements. At that time, she had $2,500. Now, like in the 80s, it was a lot of money for her at that time. But she did supply the bank statements. She did supply everything that she was growing. She supplied peanuts. She supplied chilies, potatoes. The only thing that she didn't have, because it wasn't in season, was sweet potatoes. She did end up buying it at the farmer's market. So she did supply all of that to the U.S. consulate, which is weird because nowadays you can't supply crops to the U.S. consulate. You do have to supply backup or documentation. And all of that took her to getting a response. And what do you think her response was from the U.S. consulate?
No.
Yes.
It was a yes.
Really?
Yeah.
She got the visa, the tourist visa, for herself and 7 children.
Wow.
So one of my aunts was telling her, hey, like, if you can't get the visa, leave your children behind, go see your husband, spend some time over there, and then come back. And then my mom goes, you know what? If I cannot take all my children with me, I am not going. So she persevered and got the visa. We ended up getting over here in '88. At that time, I was 6 years old. And right here, the school system, if you're a specific age, you start around 5, 6 in kindergarten. I was already in first grade in Mexico, but based on the age requirement, I started from scratch in kindergarten here. So I did my entire education here in the United States. As I started in school, I always did what I was told. I was, in a way, programmed by my parents and by the people around me to do everything that I had to do to get good grades. And that's what I did. They told me, get good grades, behave, do as you're told, and that's what I did. So as all of us know, we are all programmed as a child to do whatever you need to do. I always did that. I got the good grades, I got straight A's, and I did that throughout my entire school education. I was also trained or programmed not to ask questions. Always do as you're told, because that's what the adults say. And in a way, if I can go back and tell my younger self to learn something or to do something different, is I would ask a lot of questions. Nowadays, the kids at a younger age, from 6 months to 7 years or even up to 10 years, they're asking why. Why everything? Why this? Why that? And at some point, you do get frustrated and you just want to keep them quiet, but it's the only way that their brain is going to learn and grow. To not limit them into staying quiet, into saying, shh, be quiet because an adult is talking. So I learned now, as I continue learning, that I should have asked a lot of questions back then. I am learning now that that's what I need to do every single time. To not just go with whatever other people tell me, because I don't know if that's the right answer. And I don't know if that's, let's say, another possibility. What you have with you is a piece of paper. So I want you to get it, and I want you to draw a flower. The way that you know how to draw a flower. And what I'm telling you this is, at that time, I was always told to do things a specific way. And I will show you now that that is only programming. If you let your mind loose, you can go ahead and have so many possibilities into solving a problem, into doing things different. Now, as soon as you're done drawing that flower, show it to your fellow Toastmasters. And you're gonna go ahead and see that each of you is very unique.
It's cute.
This looks like a corn.
Right? So what I'm showing you there is that you are all unique, and there are 14 different possibilities to draw. Instead of just only taking one answer or one possibility, you have many possibilities. So enjoy and always go for that extra answer. Don't just stick to only one thing that people tell you to do. Thank you.
Icebreaker speaker. Let's get up. I think that's going to be icebreaker, Senorita Flora.
Let me see your flower. Let me see your flower.
I think she's going to call Miss Flowers.
Let me see your flower, Jim.
Oh.
Okay, everybody's flower. Helen, your flower. Okay, thank you.